Whether you're a business, family, or individual at large, Americans are realizing the value of insurance. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, the uninsured rate dropped in 2021, reversing a trend that we've seen from 2017 to 2019, respectively. The uninsured rate in 2021 dropped to 10.2% from 10.9% in 2019. Furthermore, the people who were uninsured in America dropped by 1.5 million people in 2021 compared to 2019. These numbers certainly illustrate that there is quite a competitive atmosphere for agents when it comes to competing for insurance and people's business, and making sure that people dot their I's and cross their T's to protect themselves in case of emergency, injury, or illness at both home and at work. Caden Braly is the CEO and founder of AgentsTech, which is a leading platform which empowers insurance brokers to connect with cutting-edge Insurtech and find innovative solutions to their business challenges and come up with creative problem-solving solutions. Caden has a deep passion for technology and a deep knowledge of the insurance industry as a whole. He combines those two core competencies to ensure that businesses in Texas and beyond are put on a pathway towards sustainable success. And Caden took some time out to join me this week to talk about insurance, his love for technology, the Dallas Cowboys, football in Texas, and so much more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. So, Caden, if you're ready, I'll take a moment, buddy, to welcome you to the program. And I'm super excited to learn how you help insurance agents succeed in business. Great to see you this morning, and thank you so very much for being here.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Now, buddy, tell me, why are you so enthralled or passionate about insurance? Why is that your professional passion? I'm fascinated, my friend.
Yeah, so I guess insurance in general, I kind of fell into the industry just being a family business. So my dad started an agency back in 1997, and kind of just did it through my whole life. And then as of 2020, I came on part-time and worked for him while I was still in school at Texas A&M. And then from there, I just really enjoyed kind of what I did, and even worked through the rest of college, and then came on full-time in 2021. And I have a passion for really protecting people's assets, especially like their business. I do a lot of commercial insurance, and I love just trying to help people, like, partner with them and protect them when life, comes fast, and potentially could destroy businesses, destroy homes, things like that. So it's a really satisfying career.
Absolutely, my friend. And I also know that you have a passion for technology and helping insurance brokers use the advent of technology to solve their problems. So tell me, how do you think technology and insurance are related, my friend?
Well, yeah. So, insurance and technology, I mean, it's in the technology itself and insurance have kind of gone away from each other. So insurance is a very archaic industry. It's probably lagging behind every other industry when it comes to technology progression by about 10 to 15 years. So it can be a little tough when you're in the insurance industry and you are having to use technology that was from 10 years ago. So with the company that we started called AgentsTech, we were really trying to connect people with insurance technology companies that provide software for agents to use, so that we can kind of propel the insurance industry forward and try to play catch up with the rest of the other industries that are significantly farther ahead than we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Captain, as a young entrepreneur yourself, I'm fascinated to ask you, buddy, what do you think is the fundamental keys for any successful young entrepreneur or business owner to be successful?
Yeah, I'd say for an entrepreneur specifically, for a young entrepreneur, it's really pushing hard. At our company, we have this saying called a halfback mentality. So in football, a halfback is always running downhill, not stopping for anything and barreling through. And a lot of times, that's what, as a young entrepreneur, you have to do that because there's going to be a lot of people that really don't think you can do it. They think you're too young, you're not experienced enough, you don't know what you're doing. And I always say, you know what, I'm just going to keep my blinders on. I'm going to keep moving forward with what I do, and do what I know how to do best. So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing is just don't stop for anybody. Don't look right or left. Just keep moving forward, and eventually you will outpace all the people that said you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, and Kevin, for you personally, I'm wondering your thoughts on what makes you personally a great problem solver. Why do you personally love to solve problems, my friend?
Yeah, I think it kind of honestly it gives me a lot of purpose. A lot of people in the business world, their jobs are very monotonous. There's not a lot of challenge to them, and problem solving is probably the number one challenge in my day to day. But it really helps me feel like what I'm doing is valuable to people because there's problems, whether it's with insurance agencies or technology companies, that I get to solve. And it's a satisfying thing to know that you are truly helping other people find solutions to their problems.
Yeah, absolutely. In a more broader sense, my friend, I'm also curious to ask you about how you think technology has helped businesses in forward into the future. How do you think technology has made operating business easier?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll talk about it in the insurance space because that's kind of what I focus on. But for technology, for insurance agents and insurance brokers, it's really helped them cut down the amount of time that it takes to do business. So with Agents Tech, when we're consulting with people on what are the what are the technologies we need to implement within your agency to really make a difference, we have three things that we really focus on. It's increasing revenue, increasing efficiency, or decreasing cost. Those are the only three goals that we have with customers coming to work with Agents Tech. So I'd say it's really just you can have all these technologies that you can think of with no matter what industry you're in, but they all have to produce some sort of outcome, some sort of measurable outcome. Because if you've heard of a SMART goal, SMART goal, one of the M is measurable. Like, does the technology you're using, does the goal that you have to use with this technology actually going to produce a measurable outcome that can show, is this software, is this technology actually working well for me, or is it not? And that's while working with Agents Tech, we're really focused on, hey, let's give you a objective number of, is this technology increasing your revenue? Is it increasing your efficiency? Is it decreasing your costs? And that's kind of how the mentality that we've had to come from, because there's a lot of software companies out there that will just kind of sell you, hey, here's this thing that we do, it's great, and then in reality down the road, they start using it and they realize, yeah, this wasn't a good match. So that's kind of hope that answers that question.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Ken, I'm also curious to find out for you. I know the Agents Tech platform has been successful, but I'm also wondering if there was anything in particular that surprised you after you launched the agency as terms of problems that you had to solve or bugs that you had to get out. So what surprised you the most when you launched the agency, and how have you grown from it, both personally and professionally?
Yeah, so I'd say with Agents Tech, one of the things that a big problem that we've kind of come into grips with is that it's kind of hard to explain what we do to agents. A lot of agents think, oh, you're trying to sell me a CRM, a customer relationship management platform, or oh, you're trying to sell me a agency management system, which is like an insurance specific technology system. And because that's kind of the only things that they've known, and we have to come in and say to them, hey, no, we're actually providing you, we're a consultant for you to help you find other technologies other than like a CRM and an AMS system to help you do business better. And it's kind of been hard conveying that information when we're cold calling, when we're talking to people on Zoom calls, or meeting people in person. Trying to actually convey that message is a little bit difficult. But personally, I think a struggle that I've had is really trying to get over the hump of like we've been really successful up front, then we had a little bit of a low term of not doing much business, and kind of seeing, okay, it's okay to go through these, highs and lows of business, and you'll go through them forever, but knowing that it's not necessarily a reflection of like my abilities as a business owner, but just kind of like sometimes that's how the market works, and you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, as an entrepreneur, Ken, you have to always sort of change the trajectory of your sort of approach as the market changes. So tell me about the importance of being nimble, especially in the insurance industry, and how important that is.
Yeah, I mean, the insurance industry is always fast changing. I mean, at the moment right now, the insurance industry is probably the worst that it's ever been in the history of insurance. So we are seeing insurance rates from the insurance agency that I still work with and still sell for. We're seeing insurance rates increase at an average, and specifically in Texas, because that's where our headquarters is located. The increase in renewals we're seeing for home, auto, business, general liability is about 25 to 35%. And for some people, that's a drastic thing. And we always say, hey, we have over 130 insurance carriers that we can write people with. But the thing that we're seeing is that even if we rewrite them, so we move them from, let's just say, we move them from Progressive to Nationwide, or Progressive to Allstate, or something like that, the prices are still the same. So a lot of people, and it's not kind of like this, we've reached an insurance market where it's not hey, I can just shop somewhere else and get a better rate. It's hey, no matter where you go, this is your new price. So we had a pricing structure in prior to 2022 that was right here, that this is what everyone was, and everyone has just increased in price. And that has a lot to do with interest rates increasing, inflation increasing at rates that haven't been seen in years. It's a lot of different factors, but it is tough. And as owning an Insurtech consulting company, for insurance brokers, you have to be on your toes looking for the technologies that can really help them sell, because so let's just say the costs are going to be the same, just more expensive no matter where you go. But it's like, help an insurance broker find a technology that really helps their customer, that can be the tipping point for them to go with that different insurance broker. So it's kind of like we help partner with them in finding softwares to help gain more business for them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Ken, I'm also curious to ask you about, as a business owner or an individual at large, what sort of a checklist should people have when they go shopping for insurance, my friend?
Yeah, so I guess I'll come at it from two aspects. There's the technology side and then the insurance side. So when you're in a new business, no matter what it is, the main thing that you need to have available is general liability, and no less than $1 million in coverage. That is the minimum that pretty much anyone should go with. That's kind of the industry standard. That will cover you for, let's just say you own a business like a restaurant. That's the easiest example. You have a restaurant and someone slips and falls and breaks their arm, and you're at fault because there was water on the ground, right? Well, they could come and say, hey, I need you to pay for my medical bills. You file an insurance claim on the general liability, and then it would pay for their medical bills. That's the very basic. The other thing to consider is all based off of the different types of work that you do. So property, that's the next biggest one. Is, do you own a building? Do you own any sort of content? So like, let's take the restaurant example. So you could own the restaurant building, that needs to be insured. And sometimes, depending on if you have a loan on the building itself, you're actually required to have insurance on it. And then the contents itself is like everything on the inside that's not permanently attached. So think tables, chairs, ovens, things like that. That's kind of the basis. And then if you have vehicles that your business owns, you'll have to have commercial auto insurance. That is required by law for you to have auto insurance, and specifically in the state of Texas, but also majority of other states. And then the other thing is, if you have employees, you'll have to have workers' compensation insurance. And I say that you don't have to have it, but if you do get sued for a work-related injury by your employees, it can be very pricey to pay out of pocket. So that workers' compensation insurance covers them in their medical bills and any sort of things revolving around medical issues for a injury that took place while in the workplace. Those are the main coverages, and then there's other specialty coverage, but that's the business side. And if you're a insurance agent that's actually looking for technology, the basis that you need to get started off with is a CRM and an AMS. So a CRM is a customer relationship management tool. And this is, I like to tell insurance agents, this is the pre-customer management system. So that's everyone that's a prospect inbound, managing them through the pipeline until they become a customer. When they become a customer, they go to the agency management, which is the current customer management system. There's not a lot of companies out there right now that will do all in one. They either do one or the other really well, but that's a very good go-to for insurance agents. And the agency management system manages the policies themselves. Sometimes they can manage billing, certificates of insurance, manages it. Actually, some of them hold all the emails that you've sent for errors and omissions purposes, just in case if they say one thing but it means another, and you want to make sure that everything looks good. But those are kind of the go-to.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of tell me, when you look at the current and future state of the insurance industry in the next 5 to 20 years, how do you think it'll evolve over time, my friend?
Yeah, that's a very good question, to be honest with you. And that's what kind of everyone's trying to look at. And I think right now, majority of the market, let's just take home and auto insurance, or let's just take auto insurance because that's the most popular that everyone is pretty much required to have. The auto insurance market, majority of people go what's called direct to carrier. That literally means I go online and get auto insurance directly through progressive.com or directly through Travelers or Nationwide or Geico. That's majority. I'd say, I think it's, last time I looked, it's like 65% of people. The other 35% go through brokers like myself. So I'd say in the next 5 to 20 years, you're going to see a large shift in agents that are trying to figure out what to do, because that I feel like it's going to go more towards the direct to carrier focus. So people still going online to get insurance because it is easier. To be honest with you, though, it's kind of a catch-22 because you can go online and it's very, very easy to get coverage. You can get it right then and there, but the coverage, you don't know what coverage you're getting. There's a very big knowledge gap between what an insurance broker knows versus what the individual knows. So I feel like you're going to see a lot of people that are underinsured. Majority of people already are underinsured. They just don't know it yet. But also, I feel you're going to see a massive increase in brokers just focusing on commercial insurance, because commercial insurance is so complicated, to the point where it's going to take a while even for like AI to catch up with all the underwriting. And underwriting means like, how do you price a policy for an individual, with all those things. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of agents that don't really know what to do because they've focused on home and auto so long, and all of that market share is getting taken away by the carriers directly. So I think that's probably what we're going to see.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm fascinated to also ask you about the concept of inclusion in business. So, just to give you some context, but I was born with what's called spastic quadriplegia cerebral palsy. Simply means that I don't have enough oxygen in my legs to walk normally, and I help businesses outside of hosting this podcast build an inclusive future for their business. So how do you think we can use a technology to make business more inclusive for folks with disabilities, and in an overall sense as well? How do you think we can make business more inclusive?
Yeah, that's actually a fantastic question. Something that we are pretty passionate about at our agency and within AgentsTech. I think right now the ability for individuals that do have some sort of disability to work from home is a drastic increase in their lifestyle, because when you're working from home, you do have the ability to maybe work on your own schedule a little bit more. You have more access to you don't have to get in a car and drive to the office and then worry about all of that. It's kind of your more comfortable environment at home. So I think that like our insurance agency is almost 100% digital, and we really feel like there's a lot of need in the insurance space to have more work from home. Obviously, COVID made work from home a way bigger reality for people, but we do feel like people that do have some sort of disability, them being able to work from home allows them to be more comfortable in an environment maybe that if they had to go into an office, they wouldn't be very comfortable in. So we're always about making accommodations for people, and really hiring those people that do have disabilities, because they tend to be really thankful and really grateful for the opportunity. And we love working with people with disabilities. Within my own family, I have a few relatives that have disabilities, and they are amazing people, hard workers, and we love them within both of our companies.
Yeah, and it provides your business a competitive advantage, doesn't it? When you're
Yeah,
thinking inclusively, doesn't it?
exactly. Yeah, it definitely does.
Absolutely. Can you tell me what it means to position yourself as a game changer in business?
Yeah. To position yourself as a game changer in business kind of goes back to what I said about not really listening to the critics around you in terms of, how if your business is going to succeed. Game changers in business, we always like to call them people that disrupt industries. I think that it takes a lot. It's going to take very few young minds, and specifically in the insurance industry, to really disrupt things and to make the big players in the game kind of tremble in their boots. Because once you're a game changer, once you have that attitude of like I'm gonna win, like I'm gonna have what we said, the halfback mentality of I'm going to push 110% downhill with my business, with my work, and not look to either side of me, and just bulldog through all the people that don't think that I can succeed. I think that really makes game changers. So that's a big thing that we try to embody in our agency and within AgentsTech as well.
Yeah, and from a more general sense, Cat, I'm curious to get your thoughts on why everyday people should care about insurance and how it impacts their life. Why do you think people should care about insurance?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say people should care about it because it is one of the most important aspects of your life. No matter what people say, say, oh, insurance is a scam. Oh, it's, I never got paid out the insurance claim that I filed correctly, or whatever it may be. It is still a vital part of the United States and in the world society. We want to make sure, and it depends on which agent you go to, but we want to try to change the mentality and the way that people think about insurance, because it's had this thing of like, oh, I just have to pay for it. It's a scam. It's never going to be useful. In reality, it depends on which carrier you go to. There are different levels of insurance carriers. There are some that have really bad reputations, and there's some that have fantastic reputations. It's just, some people think, hey, this is a cost. I have to pay it. I hate it. I don't want it. And we got to change mentality about that, because once people start purchasing homes, or once people their house burns down and they don't have any insurance on it, and they realize, I have a loan of $250,000, $300,000, and I have to somehow pay the bank back, and I don't have a house to pay, and I don't have a house at all. People really start to like insurance after it works out for them. So I'd say people should care about it because it is an important aspect of their life, and majority of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, it is a beneficial and helpful thing to the individual person.
Yeah, and Canada, just before we wrap up, buddy, I know that you're deep in the heart of football country down there in Texas. So, my friend, tell me, what sort of a football fan are you, buddy, and what are you looking forward to for the upcoming season, my friend?
Yeah, so I was born in Dallas. You can see the stars right there. I'm a Cowboys fan through and through. Have been since.
My most sincere apologies. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm used to it, man. It's all right. A big Cowboys fan. Dak Prescott actually lives about 3 or 4 miles away from my parents in the North Dallas area. So very big Cowboys fan. And then I graduated from Texas A&M. So gig 'em. An Aggie till the day I die. So that's my two teams, and the both teams, it's up in the air at the moment in terms of how the season's going to put out, how it's going to look. So I couldn't even give you an accurate prediction. I hope it goes well, but we will see.
So do we think Dak's going to lead the Cowboys to the Super Bowl this year, buddy?
I think we'll get pretty close. I think we'll probably have some sort of season like last year where it's, like a 9-4, some sort of season like that, where it's maybe not a Super Bowl season, but definitely a season where we're probably in the top 10 teams in the US. So that's probably what I think.
And tell me, just out of curiosity, what do you think makes an authentic Dallas Cowboy fan, my friend?
Oh man, authentic. This is I've actually been asked this question before, because a lot of people are not happy about Dallas Cowboys fans. To be a Dallas Cowboys fan, you have to be a fan through thick and thin. So through good seasons and bad seasons, you still have to be a fan. A lot of I would say fake Cowboys fans kind of like say, Cowboys suck this year. They're bad. I don't like them. And then when they do well, they're like, oh, the Cowboys are great. I love the Cowboys. But you definitely gotta watch through the good and bad times.
Yeah, absolutely. And do we think we'll have an Ezekiel Elliott reunion, or not so much, my friend?
I don't think so. I do not think so. I think last year, I think the last year he just didn't perform well. Tony Pollard did amazing, and I think he's a good running back, but maybe not for the Dallas Cowboys offense. So that's probably what I'm thinking.
Fair enough, buddy. I originally went to school to become a sports reporter, so I couldn't let you get out of here without asking you a couple of football questions. But my final question for you this morning, buddy, has to do with your own personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
Yeah. My professional life, I think I wanted to be defined as someone that was honorable and honest. Because in the insurance industry, there's a lot of agents that are not honest that will cut corners just to try to make a quick deal. I want to be known as someone that is honorable and an honest insurance agent. And then for my personal life, I just want to be known as the guy that was kind to others, that followed the Lord, that is an absolute good friend and a great husband to my wife and a good dad to my kids one day. So that's my life's goal right there.
Absolutely, my friend. And tell me, Kat, if people want to get connected with AgentsTech or you personally, what's the best way they can do that, my friend?
Yeah. So if you want to get connected with AgentsTech, you can either call me directly at 979-216-3265, or you can go into our website, which is www.agents.tech.com, and fill out a consultation form, and we can get in touch that way. Or you can just look me up on LinkedIn, Caden, Caden. Last name is Braly, Braly on LinkedIn, and connect with me there.
Caden, I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with me to talk insurance, buddy. Your work in the space and time on my behalf is most appreciated. I want to wish you a great tech this Wednesday, my friend, and stay hydrated in the heat for me, buddy. And thanks again for the time, okay?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.